County Superintendent announcing that commitment to helping bridge the digital divide. This is parents and schools are now also planning for a possible return to the classroom. The county also pledging to help with that by implementing a testing program for school staffers. Joining us to talk about that testing plan and how in-person learning in San Diego might work, County Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Paul Gothold. Paul, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So how is this going to work? And first of all, just let me ask you, because it must be just so stressful to have to make all of these plans, and all of it seems to be on contingency.
Well, are you talking about reopening the schools?
Exactly.
Yeah. So, 3 weeks ago, we were all in distance learning, not knowing when or how we would be off the watch list. And now we know definitively in the last 2 weeks that September 1st is the day we are eligible to come back to school. That doesn't mean all schools will open their doors on September 1st. And so every district's in a different place. There are considerations even within school communities where infection rates are much higher than the threshold of 100 per 100,000, which is the metric to safely reopen. That is the average of the county. So you will see a handful of districts open up within the next 2 weeks and others to follow as they work through their planning guides and assumptions and agreements with their bargaining members.
You have 42 districts you oversee, many charter schools as well. You've got all these different people in there with different concerns about this virus. Some teachers want to come back, some won't. Some students will want to be there, some won't. How do you accommodate them all?
Well, again, all of these decisions rest within the local context of the board and superintendent for which the districts reside. I want to make that clear, number one. Number two, we provide the guidance structures and supports. And to the best of our ability, what we have really emphasized is that we knew, even in March, going into recovery, we anticipated there would be many parents who want to keep their kids home until there's a vaccine. And so part of our guidance, part of our structures was to ensure that we, no matter what district or charter school, we could offer a viable distance learning platform for parents who wanted to continue in that frame of education. And we also asked districts to consider what would it look like in a hybrid model, kids 2 or 3 days a week. All of the health criteria don't align necessarily with what schools are. Social distancing, masks, small cohorts of kids. We have schools of over 3,000 kids. And to make that work, there has to be some concessions. And to the best of our ability, we're trying to match up teachers that want to continue teaching online with parents who want that, and doing the best we can to make sure that when we do open, it's with small cohorts of kids and it's done safely and responsibly.
And what you just said there, trying to match them up, is that so that teachers that want to be at home with distance learning can be working with kids that are also distance learning, and the teachers who are in the school can work with kids who are in the school?
Yeah, and part of it is, we have to be sensitive to the fact that we do have school officials that fall into the high risk category, might be more vulnerable. And again, we asked all of our schools and districts to survey our parents, to survey our school officials, and do the best we can to meet all the needs that are out there.
What about testing? How ready are the districts going to be to test the people that are both working and attending classes?
Yeah, we will not have that plan in place for some time. We just got the commitment from the county board of supervisors, and we thank them for their leadership in that area. And to put things into perspective, we have, with all of the districts and charter schools you mentioned, over 80,000 school employees. And the metric as prescribed by the state of California is to test half of all school employees each month, or 100% every 2 months. So that means, assuming all of our schools are back in session, something to the tune of 35 to 40,000 school employees every month.
A pleasure to talk to you, and we'll be talking to you more in the near future as this all comes together. And of course, all of this contingent on whether we stay on within the threshold over this next week, and we will find that out.
That is correct.
Yeah, soon enough. All right. So, Dr. Paul Gothold, Superintendent of Schools in San Diego County, pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you. Pleasure as well.